This is Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. I am Spencer McKercher, digital video producer here at NBC Sports Philadelphia. Once again, joined by my co-host, Sean Kane, the producer of Phillies pre- and post-game live. Sean Kane.
Hi, Spence. Tough
A
times.
little more energy than I really wanted to during this little stretch that they're on.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, as we sit down here, it is 5:44 currently on Wednesday afternoon, and the Phillies just dropped 2 of 3 to the St. Louis Cardinals in a series that they should have won. And after that game, Sean Kane, now there's games going on currently, and by the time you're listening to this podcast, those games can be done. We're talking about the Diamondbacks and the Padres. But as soon as that game ended, for the first time since June 3rd, the Phillies find themselves out of a playoff spot. It was an ugly series in St. Louis.
Yeah, not pretty. You know, they get the win on Friday behind Andrew Painter and Alan Ronhell and Jonathan Bolin, and you're like, all right, we got Sanchez and Wheeler the next 2 days. Let's go out and sweep this thing. At the very least, take 2 out of 3, and they dropped 2 out of 3, and through no fault of Christopher Sanchez, obviously, on Tuesday, 6 shutout innings, but the offense couldn't get it done. Wheeler was cruising through 4 on Wednesday, ran into trouble in the 5th. But again, the offense, like you score 1 run, you're probably not going to win. Runners in scoring position was atrocious in that series. 1 for 8 Wednesday, 0 for 7 Tuesday. Just you're not coming up with big hits, top to bottom of that lineup. And and they're not a playoff team. Literally, as we sit here right now, and figuratively, the way they're playing baseball since the All-Star break, they're 10-15 since the break. They've lost 6 of 8 series since the break. They've only won 2 series since the All-Star break, in Baltimore and home against Washington. So they don't look like a playoff team. They're technically not a playoff team. As you said, by the time the night ends, Arizona could lose, San Diego could lose. It could be back up in a tie of some sort. But obviously, it goes without saying, this is getting serious here in terms of making the postseason. Like, they could easily drop right out of it. We've talked about their September schedule. It is not easy. So if they fall flat here in August, it's going to be a real grind for them in September, trying to make hay in that wild card race, considering some of the teams are going to have to play.
We'll get into it here as we look into the future eventually. But yeah, I think the big series, I mean, you got Miami and St. Louis after this Minnesota series at home.
Yeah.
And then you go on the road out west, Seattle, Anaheim, and then Arizona.
Huge series.
Huge series against the Diamondbacks. That's all those series right there, you have to win. Because like we said, September is brutal. And I know it was kind of like the topic of discussion on Phillies Postgame Live on Wednesday of hope. And there's, what did Ben say? You can't have anything if you don't have hope.
You got to have hope. Exactly right. Yeah.
For the first time this season, and I know there's been Phillies fans basically going back since May, that it's the same old, but for the first time this season, I don't have hope in this team. And that's a concern. Yeah. It's a huge concern. And you mentioned all those stats since the All-Star break, 10-15, lost 6 of 8 series. How about 1 or fewer runs in 8 of those games since the All-Star break? 1 or fewer in 8 of the 25 games since the All-Star break. The offense is abysmal. And I think, you like that?
It is. You're not wrong.
But then, like, because it goes down how many times that we've said that, okay, the Nola starts and whoever the 5th starter, and right now that's Andrew Painter, who's pitching well in my opinion. But you have to win the games that Zach Wheeler and Christopher Sanchez start, and you didn't in a series against St. Louis now, who are above 500 for the first time in a long time this season. You bring them back above 500 just like you did in Miami a few weeks ago. It's ugly. Yeah. Ugly is the perfect way to describe this team right now.
Yeah, it's not good. And on top of that all, in my opinion at least, like the 2 cornerstones of this run that they've had, these 5 straight postseason appearances, this run in the 2020s, to me is Zach Wheeler and Bryce Harper. And right now, they're both not themselves or just flat out hurt and not admitting it. In that Bryce's case, like Bryce is clearly hurting. His knees are hurting, and we saw him barely moving down the line Tuesday night on a couple of double plays, kind of conserving his energy just because he has that knee soreness that the Phillies have admitted to. He didn't look like himself in his last at-bat on Wednesday. Don Mattingly after the game saying, hey, it's getting to the point where we got to figure out, if he's hurt, then he's got to get a day. And obviously Bryce wants to play all 162. He's the only Philly to play every game this year. Bryce afterwards said he was fine, just trying to get his composure during that at-bat, but you don't need to be a genius to figure out he doesn't look right. He doesn't look like himself, and it's not a coincidence that he moves out to right field, and a week later his legs are acting up. So that's a problem, because obviously he is such a big part of what they do. And Wheeler, I don't know that he's hurt, but he doesn't look like himself. His last 4 starts, his ERA is almost 8. Didn't look like himself in that 5th inning against the Cardinals. Just kind of ran out of gas. Obviously, go back to that Miami start about 3 weeks ago. That was ugly. Had the rain-shortened start in Baltimore. And then his last start against Toronto wasn't great either. 5 1/3, 4 earned runs. So he doesn't look like himself. And those are your two guys. Like, obviously, they got some other big-name players on the team in Sanchez and Schwarber. To me, like, Harper and Wheeler are really the heart of this thing. And they're both really either physically struggling, mentally struggling right now, and just not giving the Phillies, the type of juice that you're used to.
Especially from those two. It's a really good point. And what's Zach's ERA? It's above 7.
7.63 in his last 4, I think. Don't quote me on that, but it's right around there. It's over a 7, definitely.
And he was asked after the game on Wednesday, hey, are you concerned about velocity? He said, I'm never concerned about velocity. But, and I know he had 116 pitches in his last start.
Yep.
But he just didn't look like himself, especially when that 5th inning kind of blows up on Wednesday on him. Normally that's where Zach kind of brings it all together. Mm-hmm. He settles down, gets things moving, and doesn't let the wheels fall off per se.
Yep.
He didn't do that on Wednesday, and it's a concern going forward with Zach Wheeler. And then Sanchez, too, on Tuesday, 89 pitches, only 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts, no walks.
Yeah.
But I get Don's point of, hey, they both kind of made a mutual decision to pull him.
Yeah.
In my opinion, in a 0-0 game, I know it's hot. Mm-hmm. It was a real feel of, 109 on Tuesday, and it was hot again on Wednesday. And these are the dog days of summer, and it's August, and I get it. But that confused me a lot. And I know we don't really want to push Sanchez as much as it needs to be, but now they're out of a playoff spot. You need to push Sanchez and Zach as far as these guys can go, because what's it going to be if you're saving them in October or for October when you're not even going to get there?
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. It's a tough decision for Don.
No doubt. And a big storyline this whole series in St. Louis was them trying to get their bullpen reset. Mm-hmm. Like, we talked about, Monday night it was clear it was just Painter and Ron Hell, and they had one guy back there in Bolin, and it worked for them. And then, Tuesday had a little bit. And the first guy they go to when Sanchez leaves after 6 innings is Alex McFarland, who I like, who I think has a live arm, who didn't pitch poorly. But that just shows you where their bullpen was, that it's a 0-0 game and a game they really need to win. And they go to McFarland, and he gives up a run, walks the leadoff guy, of course, comes around to score. And then even on Wednesday, and when Wheeler goes out, obviously they're losing at that point. You see a few of their lower leverage guys, but think about it: you didn't see Duran in that series, you didn't see Kerkering in that series. Like some of their bigger guys, you did see Alvarado, and you did see Raley on Wednesday, and Bolin
got
you did see on Monday. Yeah, but they were just really trying to get that bullpen back in order, and that's great. You need a healthy, rested bullpen, but to your point, you drop 2 or 3, you keep losing these series. There's going to be no October for them to be fresh for. So you get the Field of Dreams game Thursday, you get the much needed off day Friday, and hopefully by the time they actually get to Minnesota, we'll have a normal rested bullpen and they'll be ready to go. But time's running out, man. Not running out, but running out. It's 40 games left. In baseball, 40 games is not a lot. It's less than a quarter of the season at this point. So you got to get the bullpen right. But yeah, you're right. Back to Sanchez. I was surprised watching that game. Like 89 pitches, considering the state of the pen. Like, give him one more inning.
Yep.
And he was getting stronger. He gave up 4 hits, no walks. Like he was dealing. Then afterwards, you find out that Don, without saying it, pretty much said that Sanchez kind of was gassed. He was done. He was done. And Sanchez, of course, was like, I'm never going to say I want out, but he didn't really have too much of a problem with it if you read between the lines. So I think it was pretty obvious between the heat or whatever. And it's a dog days. Like you said, it's this time of season where everybody's dragging, everybody's hurt, everybody's playing through it. But yeah, that cost him. And I don't think Mattingly wanted to do it, but he kind of made it seem like he really didn't have a choice.
100%. And yeah, Sanchez said I'm not going to be one of these guys that makes excuses going forward, whether it was the heat or he's never going to admit that he's out of gas. Mm-hmm. He might have been out of gas.
Yeah.
And because the velocity was down the entire start. His velocity was way down, more than usual. And it's a concern because, you want these guys to kind of come to their own. We've seen Sanchez and Luzardo and even Wheeler get into these games where, like we mentioned, Zach just came off a 116 pitch performance in his last start. So you want these guys to push themselves as much as you can, but it's also a little worrisome when they're not giving it their full performance, I guess, if that's the word you want to look for.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. And credit to, before we wrap up the pitching, credit to Painter and Ron Hell. Mm-hmm. Poor Allen, man. goes out there and just holds. Bends, doesn't
Barely
break.
hold. They didn't break.
Tried his hardest to
That 8th inning was rough.
not fully break, but then he gets sent down. And thanks, Alan, for your help.
Yeah.
Have fun in AAA.
Back to the AAA.
Here comes McFarland. And I saw there's a Twitter account that has they call it the Pro Stuff Plus, and it's basically looking at relievers coming into games and how effective they are. McFarland was actually the highest rated reliever on Tuesday night across Major League Baseball with Pro Stuff Plus at 116.
Wow.
Yes, he allows the run, the go-ahead run, but I was impressed with him, and I think it was just a big spot, and a leadoff walk doesn't help. A stolen base then doesn't help.
Nope. You almost got out of it.
You can't do anything about that. You come an out away from getting out of it, but I'm happy to see him. But, yeah, man, credit to Ron Hell and Painter, too, on Monday, because without them, who knows where this bullpen be. I mean, hilarious. At least in hindsight, Don Mattingly goes, well, yeah, if the game goes into extra innings, Garrett Stubbs was going to be our extra inning pitcher.
Imagine that.
That's where we are on August, 10th?
Yeah, you come out of it for the bottom of the 10th, and Stubbs walks to the mound. We all would have lost our mind watching that. But, yeah, no, and McFarland, you're right. I mean, his stuff it's obvious. Like, he throws 100, 101, 102, and he had a pretty filthy slider he uncorked a couple of times on Tuesday night. So, yeah, he's got big league stuff. He just needs to curtail the walks, and he walked one guy and it bit him on Tuesday night. But yeah, I wouldn't mind him sticking around. I mean, considering the state of this bullpen, give him some more opportunities, because they don't have a whole lot of guys out there that are going to blow you away. But I know we're getting into it next. But like, you can parse the pitching decisions all you want. They got to hit, man. They got to hit. They didn't hit the last 2 days, and that's why they lost.
I was waiting to get into it. And
yeah.
Now we have to talk about it. You've mentioned to me in the office a few times here, multiple times, where, hey, this guy in this spot in the lineup should be there going forward. There was multiple big spots in this entire series where Bryson Stott could have made an impact.
Yeah.
Give me and the listeners your thoughts about where Bryson Stott should be going forward.
I'd put him up either 1 or 2. Like, I think he's at the top of the order. Now, finally, they did move him up a little bit. I think he batted he hit 5th on he hit 5th on Wednesday. But no, he's their best hitter right now. He didn't have a great day Wednesday, but he's been unbelievable in August. We've been through how good he's been, getting on base over 50% of the time. And he's just swinging a good bat. He's confident. He's hitting tall fields, and some other guys aren't. So, yeah, I would. And I know, like, if you put, for instance, like today, if you flip Turner and Stott, and Turner hits 5th and Stott hits 2nd, then that lineup today is Schwarber, Stott, Harper, Arise, all lefties, like 4 lefties in a row. And I get some of those guys can hit lefties, but that's not ideal for later innings if you're just asking a team to bring in a lefty against those guys without breaking it up a little bit. So you need a right-handed bat somewhere in that top 4, ideally, which has been a problem all year, and I guess Turner's their best option. And Trey came out of the break swinging the bat pretty well. He did not swing the bat well at all in St. Louis, and it's just frustrating because you're right, he comes up in these spots with runners in scoring position. And I said to you, I was like, man, I'd rather have Stott up right now. Like, the way he's swinging the bat, I just feel much more confident in him getting the job done. So I don't know how you're going to do it, if you're going to mix and match some other spots, but I'd get Stott up to that top of the order, 1st or 2nd, for the fact alone that just get him more at-bats. Like, get him more at-bats as the lineup turns over. But that's what I would do. Shuffle it around. If you want to move a Rise down, maybe to the 5 hole and put a righty in the 4 hole. I don't know who that righty would be, unless you want to go with Turner in the 4 hole. So they don't have a lot of good options. But to me, Stott needs to hit higher in the lineup.
Yep, I'm with you. And maybe we'll see that going forward, because I would like to think that Don's a smart man, and he can start to see this. I think it just needs to happen moving forward. Maybe it's not this weekend and you got the Field of Dreams game on Thursday and then you go to Minnesota, but maybe that homestand. Yeah. That homestand, we start to see Bryson Stott in a different, somewhere in the lineup where he can produce the way he's been producing basically since June 1st. Yeah. And that's at a dang near 300 clip, batting average wise. What's your...
Do you put Stott in the leadoff spot and move Schwarber down to 4 and maybe put Arise 5th? Or maybe you go Stott and Arise 1-2 and you shuffle the whole thing around, and Harper 3 and Schwarber 4 and then Turner 5th.
I don't hate that.
But that's a lot of lefties again. I just stack up. It's hard to avoid stacking lefties with this lineup.
But it's unavoidable.
Yeah, because it's really just JT, Bohm, and Turner. You're not putting JT and Bohm in the top of the lineup. So it's really just Turner you have to find a spot for.
I mean, besides them, Bryce, I know you mentioned him. I don't know. He legged out that double and he looked okay.
Yeah.
But I do think there is something bothering him, and I think that just goes back to just put him back at first base.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, Alec Bohm makes an error for the first time at first base, maybe the second time, but it's his 11th error of the season. You see what Bryson Stott's doing at third base. It's hilarious. I'm finally looking at this and being like, oh, there's a competent third baseman. That's what a competent third baseman looks like. I don't know. I don't know what you do. If Bryce wants to play all 162, maybe that is an option to move him back to first base. You have to figure something out because whatever it is in the outfield, he said it's going back or coming to an abrupt stop. That's kind of where his knee's starting to get a little sore. Mm-hmm. But he mentioned after the game on Wednesday, everything's fine. He feels fine. Don said he feels fine.
Yeah.
But he's clearly not.
Yeah, and earlier in the week he compared it to like it's spring training where like I'm just got to work through it and it'll go away, which hopefully that's the case. But like Don Mattingly said before Wednesday's game, like he's been dealing with this knee thing and, going to the outfield probably didn't help it much, but it is what it is and he's working through it. And, Bryce wants to play all 162, which is great and commendable. But at some point, if you need a day or two, like take a day or two and maybe give it some time to rest for the betterment of the team so you can come back and have a big stretch run. But yeah, I don't think they're going to abandon this grand experiment shuffling around because that would make them look like, well, this was a lousy idea, which maybe it was, and that's okay. Like, you can be a good leader and admit you made a
100%.
mistake and go back to, okay, well, let's put Bryce back at first. Bohm can be a bench player, figure out the outfield. I mean, Bohm, he had a couple of hits on Wednesday, but we all know his bulk of the season here has not been great. So, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to leave Bryce out there and figure it out. And it looks like he's moving around out there on some fly balls okay.
Yeah.
It's just really like sometimes when he runs, and maybe that's just him like, I know I'm not beating this ground ball out. What good does it do me to bust it down the line and put more pressure on my knees? I just got to eat it every once in a while. But yeah, it was pretty alarming Tuesday night. And then the at-bat at the end of the game Wednesday, you can just tell that he is certainly not feeling like himself right now, at least in his lower half.
Is it time then to just eat it? I don't think they're going to do this. And I know Phillies fans are going to want this to happen. But is it time to just say, hey, Alec Bohm, you can't start anymore?
Maybe. I mean, maybe he becomes a platoon guy that you get in the lineup against lefties, but I don't know. Like it's
I don't know what you do because De La Cruz comes in the game, pinch hits for Marsh, hits two really hard balls and gets completely robbed by Jordan Walker in the 7th, and then basically the same thing. I think it was another F9 then in the 9th.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would like to see Brian De La Cruz get more opportunity, and if that includes Alec Bohm going to the bench, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
I'm not going to pound the table for Alec Bohm staying in the lineup. I mean, I'm not going to stop you from that. But yeah, it's Bohm, like we said, I think he's out of here after this year, and they're just going to move him down the lineup and see what he can do. But yeah, on its face, like Bryce Harper dealing with knee pain, running around in right field, so like Alec Bohm can play first.
Right.
I know that they did the whole thing for a rise, but really it came down to like Bohm was the one moving to first and moving Bryce to right field. So it's kind of silly when you think about it, but. I think they're going to stick with it at least for the next month or so. But it doesn't seem to be defensively. It doesn't look like bad defensively. Yeah, Bohm, you made the error on Wednesday.
Hard hit ball.
He's made some nice plays. He's had some nice picks over there. He is a big target. Don Mattingly talked about that Wednesday. He gives you a big radius to throw to, whereas Bryce isn't quite as big as Alec. But
that's big radius.
Nice big radius. That's what it's about. Catch radius, like football.
Sure.
But yeah, so it hasn't looked awful, but. The fact that your superstar is now dealing with some knee pain that to me looks like it's compromising him a little bit at the plate and on the base paths, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to just really grind through this just so Alec Bohm can play first base.
Yeah. I don't know, man. They got to figure it out, and you got to figure it out quick.
Yeah.
40 games remaining.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow on Thursday in the Field of Dreams game. Is there any other things in this lineup and this offense that have caught your eye that are a major concern?
So just going from the Schwarber, I thought started to swing the bat a little
Monday
better.
He was great.
Did not have a great day on Wednesday, but he swung the bat better at least in the last handful of games, which he needed to get out of that rut. I thought Bohm at the bottom of the lineup swung the bat, had a couple of hits. Turner's not looking great, and just frustrating all around, man. It's just frustrating. The runners in scoring position to me is they just got to come up with some big hits. Arise finally, breaks out of his slump. He was 0 for 16, has a big RBI double, ties the game at 1. All right, baby, now he's on second with nobody out, and then they just can't get him in. And they had the disastrous 8th inning the night before with the bases loaded and nobody on base.
Oh my God, dude.
Arise hits into the double play. I get a lot of it's bad luck sometimes, but you got to make your own luck. You got to hit the ball hard. You got to put together good at bats, and they're just coming up small in big situations, and it's really, really costing them.
That's what the 8th inning on Tuesday was just the summary of kind of how this season could go.
Yep.
For the rest of the way. It's a huge moment. You have the bases loaded with no outs. Mm-hmm. What's his name? Caleb Ferguson?
Yep.
The reliever for the Cardinals.
He was brutal.
He had 2 appearances on Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Didn't get an out. Allowed 6 walks.
Yeah.
And you don't score. That's a problem. This is good teams Dodgers, the Yankees, the Rays, the Brewers.
Yeah.
They score in those opportunities when given to.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't even work for that.
Yep.
You were gifted an opportunity, and you don't get it done. It's brutal. And you mentioned Trey, last 7 games, batting 167 after kind of starting to swing it well in July, early August. Last 7 games, now 167.
They just look gassed, don't they?
They do.
They look gassed. I got to get it that time of year.
They had no motivation in St. Louis. And it's hot.
Yeah.
100%. We're not out there. We're here.
Yeah.
When it's 10 degrees in this office. It's so cold in here.
We're grinding through the other end of the spectrum.
Sweatshirt over here.
That's right.
And I get that. But like we said, it's almost like that Cap team in 2019.
Yeah.
And 18.
Yep.
They had a division lead in September, and then they just gave up.
Yep.
That's how I feel right now. And where did that come from?
I don't know, man. But, 10-15 since the break. They're losing series. And I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but I do think the lack of an all-star break for some of these guys is catching up to them. Like, I thought that was a problem for Schwarber, clearly a problem for Harper, problem for Marsh. And, again, I'm making excuses, and it's the all-star break. But usually getting that 4 days off about 100 games into the season is a pretty big deal for these guys. But they did not have that between all the all-star festivities and the home run derby and then having to play on Thursday out of the break. It was just an unfortunate circumstances for them, and I think it's catching up to them. They finally, like I said, they get that off day Friday, but now they're flying all around to Iowa, which is great. It's going to be awesome, but also not great to kind of disrupt their schedule a little bit. So here I am making excuses for these guys, but still, just hit the ball. Like you got to come up with some hits.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper was asked on Wednesday if he's looking forward to heading to Iowa.
Yep.
Said it's not ideal.
Less than ideal.
Because you are staying in St. Louis. I saw.
Right.
Not going to
spend the night in Iowa.
There's no 4 seasons in Dyersville, Iowa.
No.
I don't think there's a two seasons in Iowa.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yep.
To fly to Iowa for less than probably 12 hours and then
fly
get on
in and fly out to Minnesota tomorrow night.
It's not ideal, and Bryce Harper said that, but he's still looking forward to it, and I am too. We'll get to that. But first, quick ad break. Yeah, please win that game.
Yeah.
A lot of people are going to be watching. Don't embarrass yourself. We got old Knowles on the mound. We'll be all right.
There you go.
First, a quick message from our friends at Team Toyota. Then we'll talk about that Field of Dreams game on Thursday. This summer, Team Toyota is stepping up to the plate with the All-Star Sales Event. Score great lease offers on new Toyota models like the RAV4, Camry, Corolla, Tacoma, Tundra, and more. Looking for value? We have a huge selection of Toyota-certified used vehicles backed by the confidence and quality you expect. And before you hit the road this summer, visit our award-winning service centers to get everything you need before those long road trips. Get your home team advantage in Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or shop online at teamtoyota.net. Welcome back to Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. I am Spencer McKercher. That is Sean Kane. Normally I say that different. I messed it up. Who cares? That's Sean Kane. I'm Spencer McKercher. Phillies head to the Field of Dreams. Dyersville, Iowa.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it. When this came out on the schedule, I was very excited about it.
Yeah.
Now I'm iffy about it.
Right.
One, because I'm not there. It would have been awesome.
You'd like to have been there.
It'd have been great. We could have done the pod from the corn today.
Oh, baby. That'd have been something.
Here or there.
Yeah.
But Cole Weintraub will be there from NBC Sports Philadelphia.com. Keep an eye out for all his work.
Indeed.
What your thoughts and expectations as Aaron Nola takes them out against Taj Gibson? Not Taj Gibson.
Taj Gibson, the power forward from the Bulls. Yes.
Taj Gibson making a switch to Major League Baseball.
Yes.
What, Taj? We're both.
Oh, man, now I'm drawing a blank on Taj. It is Taj.
Is it Taj Bradley?
That sounds right. Taj Bradley.
I'm so sorry, Taj.
No, all good. So I'll take the Nola angle while we're confirming on Taj Bradley.
Old Knowles.
I can confirm he is pitching.
100%.
And he's pitched better. He's been better. Generally for the last month or so. I think 3 earned or fewer in maybe 6 of his last 7 starts, and we talked about that a lot. Like at this point of his career, you'll take 3 earned in 5 or 6 innings from Aaron Nola. Like keep him in the game. And then one thing I think is worth pointing out about this game in Iowa, given that this isn't a normal big league ballpark, obviously it is not wired, it is not equipped with the ABS
huge,
technology
system.
Yes, ABS system technology. So. There's not going to be ABS for this game, which is weird because it is a regular season game. It counts in the standings, and you'd think they'd have all the major league rules and regulations, but they just can't technically do it. And I've talked about it before where I think the ABS has hurt Aaron Nola. He's a guy that, much like Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux 25 years ago, Aaron Nola lives on the edges. He has pinpoint control on the edges. He backs up the left-hander off the hip, and he kind of comes in the back door there on the inside corner. He lives on the outside corner, and he's accurate, and he has good enough command where he can, I don't want to say fool, but convince the umpires that those are strikes. Like he's hitting that spot every time. That's a strike. In reality, it's at 2 or 3 inches or an inch or two off the black, and it's not a strike. And this year, hitters have been challenging it, and he hasn't been getting that literal half inch there off the black. Those are balls. He's walking guys. He's not getting those strikeouts, and that adds up. And I think that's hurt him. So maybe for a night he can turn the clock back to 2018 and live on the edges and get some called strikeouts off the front hip of left-handers, and just kind of roll with it and hopefully pitch well. But even that aside, like I said, he's been pitching better. I expect him to pitch well, and you got to win this game. The Twins are feisty. They've surprised a lot of people this year. That division they're in is kind of open for the most part, so they're still kind of in the mix. So it'll be an interesting game, but I'm expecting Aaron Nola to come out and pitch well. Let's hope so.
I would hope so, man. And I think you're right. I think he's going to be excited to pitch without the ABS.
Yeah.
And I think we could see a vintage Aaron Nola.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that because, like you said, you need it. It's a national game.
Yep.
Whether you have Netflix or not, I know that's still a problem.
Yeah.
But it's a national game.
Right.
At the Field of Dreams, where people are very excited. It's very similar to London. It's very similar to all these other games that MLB goes about doing. Just get the job done.
Yeah.
Do not embarrass yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Nola on the mound without the ABS system is going to be a huge X factor.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. You mentioned Nola's or his last few starts. Even going back, 18 of his last 24 starts, three earned runs or less for Nola. So
yeah, that's great.
It's been pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
I know the ERA is a little misleading, but it's been a solid year for Knowles.
Yeah.
I will take that. We've said it multiple times. We'll take that all the time. And not Taj Gibson, but Taj Bradley.
Yeah.
9-4 this season with a 3.76 ERA as well. So
solid. It's
not going to be an easy task for this offense, especially the way that they're struggling.
And Nola left his last start, if you remember, on Saturday with hit by that line drive, that kind of clipped him on both legs. Got his right knee into his left lower leg, but x-rays were negative. He seems like he's good. There's been no indication otherwise. So I'd like to see him with a clean bill of health. Go out there, pitch well, and look healthy doing it because they don't need any more key guys dealing with injuries.
No, they do not.
No.
Do you think Zach's hurt?
I don't know if I hurt.
Just
maybe.
mechanical. He thinks of mechanics.
Yeah, don't feel like myself. Can't really pinpoint it. I think it's a normal thing for veteran pitchers this time of year to go through the quote unquote dead arm, where you lose a few miles per hour on your fastball or whatever, and just kind of deal with it and fight through it. So he looked great for 4 innings. Like he looked like Zach for 4 innings. He looked great in Baltimore for those 2 innings, and obviously Toronto, the whole mound controversy thing, and just kind of didn't pitch well. And I think he had 5 walks against Toronto. So, he doesn't look like himself. I don't think he's hurt, but I can see him kind of battling himself a little bit, just kind of sluggish. It's been hot. He's been tired. He's not a spring chicken anymore. What's he pushing 37 years old? So a lot of factors working against him now, but I still like our chances with him on the mound, the Phillies' chances with him on the mound, but he's got to grind through it a little bit.
100%. We'll see moving forward when he makes his next start against the Miami Marlins at home next week.
Yep.
Continue looking to the future, spelled with a PH, Sean Kane, and that is the rest of this 3-game series with the Minnesota Twins. Off day Friday. Enjoy that, Phillies fans. I will be enjoying that on Friday.
That a guy.
I know you will be too. Hit the links a little bit.
That a guy.
Saturday, though, Jesus Luzardo takes the mound against Connor Prelip, the 25-year-old lefty who is 3-5 with a 4.79 ERA. Really good time for the offense to kind of get things going, even if they don't, or even if they struggle getting balls into the cornfield on Thursday.
Yep.
And then Andrew Painter takes them out on Sunday, trying to continue his little hot streak against Dean Kramer. Got Kramer from the Orioles in the trade deadline. The Twins did. So 2 winnable games in Minnesota, in my opinion, with 2 not great starting pitchers coming for the Twins. So we'll see. Maybe this offense does wake up a little bit because you have to. Good Lord, Sean King, you got to
wake up. You got to wake up, and you got to win these games. Back to what we talked about in the beginning of the podcast. September's coming, and that schedule is legit. It's a lot of good teams, A lot of pressure come September. You're playing again. You need to make some hay now, get back into one of those wild card spots, give yourself a little cushion maybe up over this trip to Minnesota and this homestand coming up when they come back home. What is it? You said it's Miami and St. Louis.
Then St. Louis.
Yeah, so those are two teams you need to handle at home before you go on that long road trip. But yeah, you got to finish August strong here and give yourself a little margin for error in September, because September is going to be a gauntlet.
Because what's concerning to me is, and I feel like you can attest to this, and the listeners probably can too, anytime they go out west, they do look sluggish.
Yeah.
You can't.
No.
Seattle's not good this year.
But
the Angels are not good this year.
Yeah.
And Arizona's going to be a huge series, maybe deciding the wild card heading into September.
For tiebreaker purposes. I think they're 1-2 against Arizona this year, so they need to win that series to at least get even with Arizona. Yeah. The good thing with the wild card scenario, tiebreakers 6-0 against the Padres.
Bingo.
So that's going to help them not only head-to-head with San Diego, but also that if it's a imagine there's a three-way tie after 162. The tiebreaker is everybody's record against the other two combined.
Yep.
And obviously the Phillies are going to have a better record than San Diego against the whole group, because San Diego's 0-6 against the Phillies.
And they're playing their best baseball currently right now.
Yeah.
Or the Padres and Tatis and Merrill. All those guys are getting hot, and they did what I kind of wanted the Phillies to do and go get some starting pitching depth. They get Mize, they get Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
They did exactly what they needed to do to kind of cement themselves into a playoff spot, and they are playing their best baseball going forward now. Winners of 4 straight, but they are down early here on Wednesday night.
Yeah, you get the sense it's 3 teams fighting for 2 spots. Like the Cubs are going to grab that first spot, and then it's 3 teams for 2 spots, and there's a bit of a gap. Then there's like the Marlins and Cardinals and Nationals. But, somebody's going to be outside looking in, and right now as we sit here, it's the Phillies. But that could certainly change quickly, and all it takes is a little hot streak, get yourself back in good shape.
Yeah, because the Marlins are only 2 games back of the Phils.
Yeah.
The Cardinals are 3 games back of the Phils, and the Nats are 5.
Yeah. I'll say it right now. I'm not worried about any of those teams.
Copy.
I don't think any of those teams are making a push to the playoffs. No, I don't think that any of those teams are making the playoffs. I think it's going to come down to those 3.
You don't see any Miami Magic?
You never say never. I don't be this year's Ricky Bo at the bottom feeders.
Right.
But I just don't look at them as a playoff team. I don't look at the Nationals, especially after they kind of unloaded some guys. And this Cardinals team I wasn't overly impressed with.
No.
Certainly. But yeah, I'd be shocked if any of those teams creep up into the mix. I think it's going to be Padres, Arizona, and the Phillies, and one team's going to be left out.
I hope it's the Diamondbacks. I didn't see them being a playoff team at all this year.
No.
And here they are.
Torey Lovello, he's good, man.
Another guy I just don't like. Just don't like Torey
I hear
Lovello.
ya.
Never have.
Yeah, but they're always in the mix.
Never have. Hey, the good news, the Dodgers aren't. Well, there's good news and bad news. The playoffs, or let's just say the Phillies won today, just for argument's sake. The Phillies would play the Dodgers currently
In a wild card
in a
series.
3-game wild card spot.
Wow.
And I saw a hot take that was like, that's where you want them.
Yeah, smaller series
Instead of
means
a 5-game series, instead of a 7-game series.
there's always a chance of the better team not winning when it's a smaller, shorter
Bingo.
series. Like the more games you play, the more the cream is going to rise to the top.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that
How about that?
a corn joke?
What's that?
Was that a corn joke?
No, that was just me. Cream is going to rise to the top. But if you play them in a wild card series, you're talking like game 1, Skubal Sanchez. Game 2,
Snell.
Yamamoto against Wheeler. Game 3, Ohtani against Luzardo. Like, talk about in a wild card series. You're talking about, does Snell even make a start in that series? Like, or does obviously Glasnow probably wouldn't, but Snell's back now. But what a 3-game heavyweight fight that would be.
Terrifying.
Well, hopefully, it would be
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Right.
But pitching wise, it would be unbelievable.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Dodgers have lost 3, or they've lost 7 of the last 10.
Yeah.
But they've won 2 in a row here. But they've fallen back a little bit, 2 games back of that top spot in the National League, and they're tied currently with the Braves for that 2nd spot in the National League, which would obviously be a bye come playoff time. You got anything else?
No. Just got to get going, man. We want to do some podcasts. Well, we'll do some podcasts in October regardless. But, last year was fun while it lasted, doing those podcasts after the postseason games and breaking it all down. And I just hope they get to October now. It's not trending in the right direction, Spence.
Which is crazy. Can't believe we're sitting here.
Yeah.
Literally a month ago, we're like, hey, 2 games back of the Atlanta Braves.
Crazy. I
for
thought
the
they were going to
division.
be in
Here they
first
come.
by the break.
Same.
Now they're 9 back, I think.
A month later, they're 9 games back and a half game currently on 6-17.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, a half game back of the final wild card spot. Unbelievable. They'll get it together, and maybe it will start in Dyersville, Iowa.
That's right.
Field of Dreams game. Check it out on Netflix. We will be back on air on Saturday and Sunday on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Yep.
6:30 pregame on Saturday?
What time is that game? Is that a 7 o'clock game?
Yeah, I think
off
it's
the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
7:10.
7:10. Yeah, 6:30. 6:30 pregame that night, Saturday night.
Catch us. We'll be here.
Yep.
Enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
Can take a little time off. Well deserved.
A little time off here in August. Going to do a week at the beach. Looking forward to that. But hopefully Rick or somebody can fill in for me for a podcast or two next week, and then I'll be back the following Sunday.
Sounds like a plan, pal. Sounds like a plan. So look out for me, maybe Ricky Bowe, maybe Michael Barkan, depending on who wants to do it or not. We'll see going forward, but keep an eye on that for Sunday, hopefully recapping some sort of series win against the Minnesota Twins. But thanks for listening to the Phillies Talk podcast, presented by Team Toyota. For Sean Kane, I'm Spencer McKercher. We'll talk to you guys soon.